Hi everybody, I'm here with the big glaring MGM book. And if you remember the squares I did on the inside cover and this first page here, I received a comment. Viewer asked if I thought circles would work. And coincidentally enough, I had just thought about that the day before, but I was busy and didn't get around to it. Anyway, I have around to it today. So I have a 1 inch circle punch that I found is not as good as my square punch. I had to, in case you don't know, if it's not punching through magazine paper or a thin paper, double it up. Put another piece of paper under it. Which if you can just double your magazine paper, then you'll get 2 circles and cut your punching in half. So anyway, I have some, not nearly enough. So to give you an example, okay, here's the squares, which I will point out are very easy to glue, assuming you get the first one straight. You just keep butting up against and then down. You know what I mean? Now this is not going to be like that because you don't have a flat edge here. So you'll have to be a little more careful if you want to do it that way. You know, if you're off a little bit, then you're in trouble for the next row. Okay? But I wanted to show you, see, if you're trying to cover something, which is what the idea is here, circles, you know, maybe I don't need to tell you this, are going to let your background show through, or your surface, I should say. Okay? And for something like this, that looks terrible. If it's solid, or maybe a really, thin line or something like that might be okay, but that looks awful. You can kind of do that and then go over the middle. That's not too bad. If I was going to do this, I probably would just paint black there. Okay. Okay. You can just overlap quite a bit. That's an option. Yeah, I have a dog playing, I'm sorry. Yeah, what a surprise, Diane. There's noise in your video. That's not too bad. Okay. You can just totally, be more random. Just glue down and keep covering gaps. Just something like that. That's not bad. I'm not a real fan of that. It's a little mishmashy busy, but it's okay. Okay, so are we getting the differences there? This would be very easy to glue, I'll give you that. You don't have to be careful of how you're gluing. Okay. What I think I'm going to do, however, at some point, I may do it with this video, I may not, I don't know. I'm going to do the back just like the front. As long as I already have that, I'm going to make it match. But I think I'm going to take these and do the other side of the end paper. And since it's white, I do think I'm going to try to line them up. We'll see how tedious that is, and if I get tired of it. I mean, you can't really take it off, but if I decide I don't like it, I can start going over more. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. I'm not going to show that on camera. I mean, punching and gluing, that's sort of silly. If you want any tips for what I did on this, it was just a couple magazines. They were both Architectural Digest. So I think that kind of makes it a little cohesive, if that makes sense. The printing is similar. The colors aren't the same, obviously, but I did intentionally repeat some here and there. I think that helps. So if you want to, like I said, intentionally grab similar colors and space them out. Is that the only tip I have? Like I said, squares are really easy to glue. better magazines are going to be easier to punch because they have better paper. The thin stuff is thin. All right, let me go. I'm sure you're all tired of listening to a dog bark anyway. I guess I'm just going to do all this stuff and come back, 2, 3 days later. Okay? Okay, hang on. Okay, people, after many, many days due to extraneous circumstances, I'm back and it's done. Okay, it's just circles all over. I did not overlap. I was thinking, if you wanted, and if you had a smaller punch, to maybe just punch black or a dark color and go like in between might be kind of cute. Might, this isn't really as solid as the squares, but I wasn't going to go to that much trouble. And the next smallest punch I have is just a, typical office hole punch. I tried it. That's too small. It would be kind of okay, but I think it'd be just way too fussy. Okay, so there and there. It wasn't too hard to get them lined up. I didn't draw lines or anything. If you wanted to really get a ruler out, it's not perfect, but I think it's fine. It's not as easy as the squares. And yes, she did the back. You may recall that's actually ribbon around in there because I didn't have dark narrow washi. And since I had done the previous, ones, I painted in here first. That was a lot easier. Okay. Alright, that's done. I still have a lot of pages to fill though. Alright people, thanks very much for watching and I hope you have a good day.